910. The social media handles 912 Cruise FM on X, 91.2 Cruise FM on Facebook and Instagram. November Love, ladies and gentlemen, here on Cruise FM, every November we mark another year, and it's been 13 years of being Western Uganda's biggest radio. Now, what we do is give back to the people that have been a part of the journey from way back in 2014 when we started up to where we at, and we say thank you so much for those that have been a part of the journey. 12 years, 13 years since 2012. Amazing stuff about that. 2012, 2011 about that. And from the people in Rukunjiri, Tsoro, Kavari, Ntungamo, Byantonde, Masakaraka, Isembabure, all across the world, I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the good news here. Now, what we do is give back to you this November a lot of hampers to be won, courtesy of Cruise FM. You can be a part of that. Every hour of every show, you get to win a hamper from Cruise FM. But this time round, we've been able to spice it up a little bit. There is double love, so you get to win an extra for a person that you love. So get locked on your radio. You get an opportunity to have some of that. Now, before we get into our topic of discussion, let me give you a rewind of the week. We know certainly that 6 candidates were nominated to contest for the Chisoro District parliamentary seat ahead of the November 14th by-election. The seat fell vacant in September after the incumbent, Ms. Sarah Mateke, died after a short illness. And we know there is was a lot of glamour that was in the streets of Tsoro just about this week on the nomination of the candidates. We know certainly that there are those within the NRM contested in the primaries and have made it back as independents. We're following that race very closely. But we know now the former contestant in that race came back. I think she was the former member of parliament for Tsoro. Made it back in the race. NRM flag bearer, NUP right there. It has Tana, Sultana, Salim, something like that. She's also there for the race. Now, the Judicial Service Commission is set to recruit the Deputy Chief Justice after Deputy Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Richard Buteira, clocking mandatory 70 years of retirement. We know what the judiciary means for issues governance of our country, and who superintends the judiciary is a matter that is concern to all of us. We only pray that the Judicial Service Commission nominates the best 3 that will definitely have a way to His Excellency the President, and we have one replace Richard Buteira. Right there. President Museveni declared a confrontation with critics of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority merger with MAIF, the Ministry of Agriculture, calling them liars and criminals. Uganda National Roads Authority announced significant progress in the rehabilitation of the Karuma Bridge with a new concrete deck under construction. And now, just about yesterday, Kenya swore in a new deputy president, Professor Kithure Kindiki, in a ceremony held in Nairobi a day after the High Court lifted orders that barred his inauguration after the impeachment of Deputy President, now former Rigathi Gachagua. It's been an interesting turn of events. Uganda's recorded an increase in mpox cases, recording about 262 cases in 28 districts, with 98 new confirmed cases in just 1 week. We need to watch out for mpox right there. U.S. presidential elections scheduled to be held on Tuesday, just next week, with the biggest contest between Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party and Donald Trump standing on the Republican ticket. We're following that very closely. Welcome with me, the panel which is already in studio. Musa Tukwatanese, Peter Mpaka, Muhanjide Spencer, my good friend and teacher, Godwin Simire, all the way, and Council Bwenje Deus did it. Let me welcome the Godwin and welcome back from London.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yes.
Banyaji. Fellow panelists, a good morning to you all and listeners.
Yes.
Happy to be back in my country and happy to join you this morning.
Yes.
It has been a very good moment over there. And I'm just going to say thank you always for educating this nation. And panelists, thank you very much. I've always been tuning on Cruise FM.
Yes, I've been getting the
I've
messages.
been in England. And I had friends whom I would be with, and they would say, "Oh, this is a nice discussion that you have always put on this very radio. Thank you very much, and always keep on."
Okay.
Godwin and Simile are my names. Listen to us. We share ideas.
Okay. Spencer Mhanjire, good morning and welcome to the big set.
Yes, good morning, Banyaji. Thank you very much for welcoming me. As usual, my name is Bakesuga Muhanjire Spencer. I come from Rukunjiri and I'm a spokesperson of a new political formation that is coming into the waters of politics of Uganda, the PFF. Good morning once again.
All right, welcome Spencer Mhanjire. Good morning, Musat Kwatans, and welcome to the big set.
Good morning, my brother Banyaji, and good morning to my comrades here in the studio and to our dear listeners. The name is Musa Tukwatanse, the political antidote. And first of all, I need I want to note that in Botswana, the ruling party that has been in power for over 58 years was outseated. And what he caught my eye is that it only got 4 parliamentary seats. Actually, it is too challenging, and I call upon our NRM members to go and benchmark from Botswana and saw what happened, because we don't want to see it happening here in Uganda, our NRM losing popularity. I thank you so much.
Welcome, Musat Kwatans. Good morning, Petero Mpaka, and welcome to the big set.
Today, you must have woken up on the right side of the bed.
Yes.
By the name Petero.
Yes.
Good morning, our cruisers, our dear listeners, and good morning to the top management of Cruise FM. Of course, I saw some highlights in the week that caught my eye. One being the thieves in MTN and Airtel. I really want to congratulate the boys on social media and the girls who are doing the data theft exhibition, because these companies have monopolized the market. They have been really cheating us on data. You load data for 50,000 and in 3 days it's gone, and you wonder what you've downloaded or what you've been how the data has gone. When you check, you find your number is connected to several other lines that you don't even know. So I want to thank the people who are doing that exhibition, and I call upon MTN and Airtel to check up.
All right, welcome.
I also want to congratulate the NUP for the advances in Kisoro. We wish Tana, our candidate, the best. And I pray that the people of Chisoro, you saw how a mammoth crowd was with us during the nomination, and we pray that we realize that even on the results. So Chisoro, big ups, let us vote change.
Good morning, Bwenje Deus Didit, and welcome to the big set.
Yes, the pleasure is mine. Of course, I want to start off from the comments of the member of the PLU who talked about the state of Botswana. I think as we try to follow the example of Botswana, it is also important that we note that it is one of the very few countries which have never got a loan from the World Bank, from the IMF. So as we strive to hit the middle income status as a country, we should also try to look forward to a time when we do not depend on any foreign aid. Then about MTN and Airtel, I think it is premature for my friend Mpaka to call them thieves, because we do not have their explanation of what happened. So I think it's until then when we find that their explanation is either weak or it can be rebutted, that you can maybe call them bad people, but also then we cannot call them thieves, because they still enjoy the presumption of innocence. And of course, I've been watching the media, and there was a salary scale of the public officers of Uganda, and I saw that the Chief Justice earns 26.5 million. Then the Registrar General, or the ED of the URSB, that is Madam Mase Kinowisho earns a whooping 40 million. Now, and of course, the demands for her to account for that money has forced her to leave space of X. eh. She has said that she was not on X to give accountability of what she eats and so forth. But I think it should also drive the state to make a review of of the salaries of public servants, because if a registrar general can earn about 1.5 times the CJ, and yet the CJ is a third person in the country, I think it raises some concerns. So I want to ask the salary review board of government to have a stake in that.
Okay, let's stop for a break. When we come back, right into a difficult discussion. Don't touch your bread. Your November Love. Don't forget that you're going to have an opportunity to win yourself a cake in the first hour of the show. Good morning, and have a very beautiful November here at Cruise FM. Good morning.
It's tough, it's bold, it's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Welcome back from that very short commercial break. 23 minutes past 9 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. Good morning once again. My name is Wes Gevanyaji. The big city is happening, and it always does on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 11. What we do is sit and talk about issues that affect our country. It's no exception today. We're discussing what is engaged within the different political parties ahead of the 2026 general elections. Now, to be a part of the conversation, go follow, like, comment, give us feedback on our social media handles, 912 Cruise FM on X and 91.2 Cruise FM on Facebook. The topic of discussion is on there, but you also take chance to call in on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Now, November Love to all the listeners, and it's not the end of it. You can still be a part of celebration of love here. If you're a business owner, walk into our space and we get to give you 50% discount. Now we also get to receive things in kind. If at all you have so much stock, and you can be a part of what we are doing here, celebrating the real listeners that have worked as the journey for 13 years, come with us and we partner and celebrate love. Now every hour of every show for the next 30 days will get yourself a hamper, courtesy of Western Uganda's biggest radio station. Now, don't forget that we're also coming to your area the people of Untungamo, Kavari, all these places, Ibanda, Yantonde, all these places we shall be coming to share the love, celebrate with you. You'll rub shoulders with the best presenters, DJs, and it will be niceness all the way. Now, the team with me in studio is Bwenje Deusdedit. It is a lawyer and an advocate, and Simire Godwin, who is a member of the National Resistance Movement, is a teacher, and he wants to be governor of Mbara City, that I know. And then Mohanjere Spencer, who is wearing blue and white. Which kind of blue it is a matter of the Electoral Commission to determine, whether it's royal blue or sky blue or whatever that it is here with us. And the man who is in the full fatigue of the National Inter platform with a red beret, who is Pete Mpaka, who is a political analyst here in Big City. Musa Tukwatanese, he is the spokesperson and does a lot of coordination for the Patriotic League of Uganda, a civic organization. Let me start with Musa, knowing that General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who doubles as the CDF and Special Operations Advisor to the President, came out and said the troops, the foot soldiers of NUP, or of PLU, beg your pardon, we are not going to be a part of the 2026 as PLU, but rather go behind the NRM and we shall support General Museveni for another presidency. How did those words move, first of all, in the interest of the people that thought General Muhoozi would be a part of the electoral process as candidate, and those that would think that maybe this civic organization would transform into a political party and they can have the election on the ticket of that political party? How did it go for you?
First of all, my brother Wanyaji and our dear listeners, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba made the pronouncement that all his supporters and troops must support Mzee Museveni in the 2026 elections, and he said that he's much willing to still serve as the CDF of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. At first, it was, of course, a blow to the supporters, and but for us supporters, we believe that when you have royalists, always your say will always be their command, and in service, never question the principle, especially when you find his decisions are always in the interest of both you and himself and the country. And we believe General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is our patriot number one, and he has Uganda at heart. So for whatever decision he takes, he's always in the interest of us, the Ugandans, and the young generation that follow him, and he is in the interest of Uganda as a nation. And so we welcomed his decision, and we are going to support Mzee Museveni as the Patriotic League of Uganda. All our troops countrywide, as a civic organization, will mobilize for Mzee Museveni in 2026. And also I must note that NRM in 2026 will win. I must predetermine the win for the reasons I am going to clearly state.
Knowing what we saw in Botswana just a few days ago, you can't be sure.
Actually, let me for what happened in Botswana, that's why you saw General Muhoozi Kainerugaba saying that in 2026, let's first hold on, first again bring the Mzee come back, then we reorganize and prepare well to make sure that we consolidate the revolutionary achievement. Otherwise, the scenario that happened in Botswana yesterday can happen here, where 4 MPs, where a party that has been in power for 58 years can present 4 MPs. So that's why General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's decision was highly welcomed, because as PRU, it is giving us time to reorganize, and to reorganize within the NRM and make a solid support to ensure that when it is time for a transition, it will mean a transition and within the NRM. And so, first of all, when I talk about the election of the 2026, what wins an election? One, structures. NRM has updated its registers right from LC1, And I believe that strategy has worked because at every level of LC1, NRM has a structure of women, youth, elderly, workers, entrepreneurs, and they are over 9. So you realize that in every village of this country, NRM is there. And that is the strategy number 1 to win an election. Because your question will come in, because that strategy number 1 is the strategy of mobilization. I remember one time I said it here, that if you have people at every village, even if this Peter Mpaka puts on this NUP and does not vote NUP, he's mobilizing for NUP. Because whoever has seen him with what he's putting on will say, hey, you mean NUP is in Mbarara and NUP has people? Even if this one is a camouflage, in what he's doing, he's mobilizing for NUP. And his one vote may not go to NUP, but people who have followed him will follow NUP.
Okay.
And secondly, I must state that when you look at how NRM has prepared and is preparing for 2026 election, you can't win NRM with forces, because NRM has the secretariat that will mobilize for the candidate of NRM. NRM has the office of the national chairman, ONC, that will mobilize for the candidate of NRM. NRM has PRU, Patriotic League of Uganda, that will mobilize for the candidate of NRM. Now, who can win those forces?
Okay.
And in 2026, more forces are coming. We shall ensure that the victory is delivered. Actually, this time, it will be in 70s plus.
Okay.
I thank you.
Nsimire, okay. Let me allow you to have your question.
Yes, you see, when we come on radio or TV, we should bear in mind that we are not speaking to ourselves. We are speaking to the entire world. Now, the PLU member seems to have forgotten the core mandate of the PLU, which was enshrined in a proclamation document on the 7th of February 2024. And the last paragraph thereof states as follows: we commit to ensure that the Patriotic League of Uganda's efforts towards reviving patriotism will remain non-partisan. So where does the PLU derive the mandate to command the members of the PLU to support the NRM?
Being
Where?
non-partisan,
From where? Yes.
there is being non-partisan, but participating in the developments of the country.
Yes, that's okay.
And
That's
now,
okay.
Now, you
Yes.
cannot sit, because politics go hand in hand
No.
with the development of the
What
nation.
does non-partisan mean?
It means not participating in political parties. But in this
Exactly.
time, our members hold the mandate
Ah,
by
no.
constitution.
No.
I think
Subscribe
if you played to Musa Tukwata, the words that he just mentioned, he's not sure certainly that they even belong to him. But anyway, anyway, because
non-partisan means that you do not support any specific side in an election, and you do not frustrate the canvassing of support of any side in
But,
the election.
thank you.
No, in a minute. I want to guide you. That's why General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, in his wisdom, guided that I encourage you, members of the Patriotic League of Uganda, to go to NRM.
Okay.
And that's why
Let me bring a member of the NRM in.
To make an informed choice of whom you vote for.
Okay, let me bring in Nsimire. Nsimire, we were here and we watched the NRM primaries. Because certainly, we all know that if a candidate makes it out of the primaries or gets the NRM ticket or flag, call it, they're literally in parliament. They're literally at the White House here in Mbarara as mayor. They're literally a councillor assured in majority of the spaces across the electoral areas in our country. They are always messy. We know certainly they are very messy, the primaries. You are going to be a part of the primaries that are happening in about next year. How sure are you that the mistakes that were made by the party do not, first of all, you're not at the secretariat to know whether a lot has been worked on to deter the reoccurrence of some of the events that happened in the 2021 election. Are you confident that this time the process may be a bit seamless, that will deliver free and fair election?
Thank you very much, Mr. Banyaji. It's quite tricky, and I'm just going to speak as Godwin, because I'm not a spokesperson of NRM. But as Godwin, a member of NRM, I have where I stand, and I have my views. One, I remember one person telling me that when you climb a tree naked, then you will expose your private parts. And another one told me that when you go in a dance of monkeys, then accept the tails to touch on you. Don't just keep turning, saying, the tails have touched me. No, that is a game of monkeys. So if you can't mean a game of the politics that we have always seen, expect all that. However, the preparedness, the readiness, and maybe the Secretariat, I believe that they are ready and they are prepared to do a fair and a fair election. That is my stand. If they are not ready, then we should help them. We should tell them to be ready. Otherwise, what we have faced in the past is really not nice. I've gotten chance to happen to be in different countries. Unfortunately, this very year there was elections in England. I was wondering. It was like any other normal stuff. It was very calm. No noise anywhere. Everyone was voting a candidate, following the integrity of that candidate. There was nothing. It was so unfortunate that I saw in Chisolo, someone was giving salt. Take one, don't take two. Take one, don't take two. You saw it on media. And one of my friends was like, hey, so you will give salt? It's not nice at all. And this is where we should come and say, NRM, our party, desist from all that. In 2005, that's when we went into multi-party. NRM has got an advantage. It still has an advantage because it went down and developed the local multi-party politics positions down there. At LOC 1, we have the chairman for NRM. At LOC 2, we have the chairman for LOC 2. At LOC 3, we have a chairman for LOC 2, NRM, which other parties have not got. You get me? This one makes us have numbers.
Can I ask him?
And
No, wait.
And
No,
when
not the question after he's
and when we have numbers, that means it will be a mass party. We shall have numbers of people, and this is where we find a problem that our other parties, they have not prepared themselves into that.
Have you, as the runners of the state, permitted them to prepare?
Exactly. That's what I'm
Look, I don't think this one needs the state to make you organize a local level, an LOC one. If I can ask Mr. Mpaka, he's my fellow friend and a colleague, a fellow teacher. He left NRM and joined NUP. I don't know where he was, whether he was in NRM. Anyway, he was somewhere else and joined NUP. But where he comes from in Makenge, he has the capacity of saying, let us have the chairman, NUP for Makenge LOC1. Let us have the secretary. Let's have the publicity. I don't think the government can stop you from that. I don't think he can be stopped from getting the chairperson of NUP from Mbarara City. I don't think he can fail to get the chairperson of the division for NUP. But has he got him? Do they have one? So this is where we find a problem, that everything we say, the state is stopping us. And we are seeing it from the media. We are seeing it from Facebook, from TikTok, from all whatever there. It's so unfortunate that all this goes back to outside countries. And when it's over there, people tend to have a very different approach to their country. I belong to the NLM UK chapter. When I was coming, they just told me that go at the airport. What we are hearing at the airport is really tarnishing our name. Then I was like, what's that? That everything there, whenever you want to pass, you have to pay money, bribery. It was all over social media. But
Okay.
I came and I passed there. I didn't see anything.
Okay.
And I went to the Rizon office. I said, I've passed there. I came with 2 laptops. They said, you can't even pass with a laptop and a tab. I went to the Rizon office and I said, this is what is happening over there. We are seeing it in media. Why don't you come up and
So
clear it?
are you saying that there's a lot of falsification of some of the information that
Yes.
misinformation and disinformation?
There is a lot of that. However, there is one thing that I want to go on as well. You know, politics is a game.
Mm.
It's a game of the mind. It's the game of confuse and convince.
Okay, thank you. We're stopping for a break. Let me hear your rebuttal on that, and
I
then
think I don't know if the current speaker from the NRM is actually in Uganda now and whether he has been there. I don't know if it is a product of him having been outside for a long time, but if you say that the members of NUP can associate and assemble and choose a chairperson LC1 without any impediment from the NRM, what I think that is unfair. It is not once, it is not twice. When the UPDF and the police have frustrated the NUP from assembling, from even accessing the media, and
let's
so
stop-
really,
let's
we have
stop-
to be fair.
let-
We have to be fair.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Turn it up. Yeah. 91.2 Cruise FM.
Great music. Great friends.
we are back on air right now. It's 15 minutes to the top of the hour on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. Good morning once again, November Love. My name is Wes Gebanyaji. Plot 12 Multilane is where we are at. We airing online and on air, and it's www.cruisefm.com/stream. Cruise TV, YouTube, and TikTok with streaming live. So don't hesitate to go right there and then get to enjoy the seamless TV radio arrangement. Beautiful like that. Now, November Love, to all the listeners, you get a chance to win yourself a lot of goodies all the way up to the end of this month. It's love, it's celebration, it's happiness, it's double love, it's everything to do with that. We eating, we drinking, we celebrating 13 years of being the biggest in the game. And we're not about to stop. Now, right about now, you get to win yourself cake. Courtesy of Cake House in Uganda. Ola Cake House in Uganda. Now, these ones produce the most finger-licking good cake kind of thing. So the people of Vibanda go to Ola Cake House right there. It's where the best cake is done. Now, to win yourself a cake, call in right about now on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Now, if I told you I haven't won yourself anything, I want to give you a cake on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. November Love.
Yes, November, Mr. Banyaji.
What's your name and where you at?
Asime Gilbert from Butari Chamunga.
Asimwe Gilbert is your name.
Yeah, it's my name.
Where are you at?
Wanje?
Oliwa, where are you?
Butari Chamunga.
Chamhunga. Nawe,
Mm.
I want you to win cake.
Okay.
What are the social media handles for Cruise FM?
Is Close FM 91.2
On what?
on Facebook,
On what?
on Twitter.
Okay, on Twitter, Facebook. Then when you want to watch what is happening inside studio, where do you go?
You go to YouTube, Close TV.
Alright. I get to give you this cake. Please enjoy it with family. Give me your telephone numbers right now.
Is 070
Mm.
499
499
70
70
97.
97. Congratulations, Asimwe Gilbert. In Chamhunga, you get to win yourself cake, courtesy of Ola Cake House in Ebanda. Just like that. November Love, ladies and gentlemen, and all cruisers across the world. It gets beautiful like that. Now we're back to our topic of discussion. Let me get to engage Spencer Mahanjere, who is a member of the... Yes, in a second.
Mr. Wenje said, the UPDF, the police is too much to assist other parties to elect a local LOC1 chairperson for a certain party. Really, do we have a lot of police and a lot of UPDF to go disturb my people in Kashojwa, to go disturb my people in Katukuru when they are going to elect a representative of UNUP or PFF or FDC?
Okay.
Honestly,
Thank you.
let's not take it.
Let me
answer. In the 2021 elections, in a convoy of 10 vehicles of the NUP, there were an additional 13 pickups of the police. 13. They're even more than
Does
those of NUP.
electing a local LOC1 for Kashojwa LOC1 need 20 vans of NUP?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an election. It's an election.
Let me allow Spencer. Let's allow Spencer.
Yes.
Spencer, what is happening within your own political party? We know certainly that you're going across the country trying to obtain signatures that will give you an opportunity to, be a registered political party. How far is that gone? And what is your expectation as far as 2026 general elections are concerned? How prepared are you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Wesige Banyaji. First of all, as PFF, we're on course, and it is going to be the first political party to be registered in the whole world with already built structures. When we are departing from the FDC that is now soon being defunct, as we're in the process of dissolving it, as we declared from the delegates conference, the PFF and its leaders, we already have each and everything that is necessary, because we were asked to collect signatures, which we are doing progressively. We have not managed to field a candidate in Chisoro, just because we are not yet prepared, and the candidate would be registered as an independent one. So PFF has had challenges. Of course, the regime knows who are the real opponents. The government having had a hand in killing all the institutions, irrespective the political ones, the systems in the country that have been murdered by the head of state. and his group. So we are very much prepared. All over the country, we have a group of national promoters, including myself. I am working closely with Madame Ingrid Turinawe, who was the national mobilizer of the FDC, but now leading the Katonga faction in the mobilization sector. And we are really on course. We were asked by the Electoral Commission to collect signatures, and they had given us a deadline of 31st January. But for us, in 2 months, we are soon concluding. We don't want to reach there. So the FDC is a mass party because
Are you still talking about the FDC?
no, the PFF.
When you are promoting your own political
No,
party, it looks to
the
be a
P-
confusion for
Yes,
you.
it is
Mr.
not easy,
Manchere.
you know when someone has stolen your name. PFF is going to be a mass party. It is going to field candidates all over the country, and we shall emerge the victors. Yes.
But that's just an outlier. Let the bird conclude on
It
this.
it is very, very clearly understood that the leaders we had trusted with our party, they sold it to Mr. Museveni. He procured leaders, gave them money. That's why we had to create our own
But
home,
you have
which is a revolutionary home of
you,
Katonga.
you have people like Gilbert Olanya that were part of the Katonga faction, literally going back to the indigenous mother party in Najana Nkumbi. What do you say about that?
Of course, there is an invisible hand, but we shall replace them.
Okay.
Yes.
Peter
I have a
Mpaka.
question.
Yes, yes, I will
Peter-
answer.
A simple question for him.
Yes.
From his statement, he's saying that the PFF will be able to field the candidates all over the country, and those candidates will win. What are your intentions? I thought you're coming to present a presidential candidate. Who will be? What are your intentions?
We
really?
shall field candidates everywhere, from the village, from the village level up to the presidency.
Okay, let me Peter Mpaka.
Yes,
We know certainly that you're having an opportunity in Soro to first of all canvass votes in the greater Bufumbera Chigezi area. And it's not any secret that you're the biggest opposition political party. How prepared you've gone through a lot of phases with what happened with Honorable Matthias Mpuga in the commission and leader of opposition and all these, the debate that has been raging on to wanting to a leader of opposition being voted on by all members of the opposition. It has not been as easy for the last about 3 years as the biggest political party in the opposition. How prepared are you to galvanize this, first of all, or even get into government?
Thank you, West J. And our dear listeners who are tuning in, and the panel that have already discussed and given in submissions. Now, around 2021, they called us a wave. They called us a Kasorora. The Kasorora will die down. They called us these Musa Tukwatanise somewhere calling us all sorts of funny names. But I want to congratulate NUP. I want to congratulate People Power, and especially our able leaders, the President, Bobby Wine, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, the Secretariat, which is headed by our Secretary General, David Lewis Rubongoya, and the spokesperson and the leader of opposition, and all the MPs for standing the negative propaganda. When we are off the microphone, this man from PLU, PLU means plunder. It's a short form for plunder. He was telling me that, you see, we have already put some negative propaganda in Chisoro.
That's not fair. And I think as a you see, even if you are not a member of the PLU, you must respect it as a civic organization, as a registered civic organization.
They told you,
you might not agree with the messenger.
You see, Wenje,
I mean, actually, with the message,
you see,
but at least
they told
respect
you,
the messenger.
They told you that once you join the dances of the monkeys, then you don't start complaining that the tails of the monkeys are touching in my beards. So PRU simply means plunder. That's why they are trying to plunder our coffee. They have plundered our medicines in the hospital. They have plundered our bridges. They have plundered our roads. They have plundered our schools. And so it's like in the Bible, the anointing comes from the head down to the beards. So the anointing comes from the Father to the Son. And they think Ugandans are asleep. They will be there to be confused by the wenches of this world, who come and use good English and use some language of the lawyers to confuse Ugandans. But Ugandans of good heart, Ugandans who love their country, who know where Uganda is, are yearning for change. The people of Chisoro are yearning for change. That's why I've told you that Bariono Bajirango Gomukaza Isimbire Chisoro, man is a girlfriend of Bobi Wine, man is a girlfriend of who, trying to use propaganda. And you have wise, so somehow wise people like Wenje trying to sugarcoat and trying to use English. Me, I defeat that. But I want to end with this. That the NUP has stood the test of time. And the questions of Nsimire Godwin, that we don't have structures, we don't have people at the LC1, we don't have people at LC2 or LC3, is rhetoric that we should defeat, because that's what the NRM wants. They want you to do what they do so that they find out to defeat you. We are using rub-dub style. At the end of the day, we will get there and deliver the change that Ugandans need.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Great friends.
It's 3 minutes past 10 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. It's a beautiful Saturday on Plot 12 Mutilene. Cruise FM is celebrating 13 years of being the best in the radio arrangement in Western Uganda. And in this particular month, we say we love you, we celebrate you, we feel good about you, and we want to give back to you. In a very special way, we have people that have partnered with us and been a part of us, and they don't stop and want to appreciate you. Adinyichira Chogero Amazing Restaurant, Amazon Express Supermarket, Baka Electronics. I have Basami Young Tenze Traders in Ivanda, BGK Wines, Cafe Havana, Day to Day Supermarket, Divas Unisex Saloon, Enoch Batembe Shop in Evander, FJ Electronics, Evander Kitchen Hardware, Joseph Fashions, Mulunji Pimplex Company Limited, Ola Cake House that is just giving us a cake in the first hour, Perpetual Paints, Pivotal Shop, Queen Cosmetics, Supreme Electronics, and You Home. You're doing us real good and want to appreciate you in a very special way. Now, if at all you want to be a part of the winners, later on in a few minutes, I'll give you an opportunity to walk away with the November Love Hamper, courtesy of Western Uganda's biggest radio station. I'll not stop to remind you, our listeners, we're coming to your area. Now, Evander, it always happens real good. Now, people in Cape Town, you know what we always do. It's always a mashup, and we don't stop. We're about to activate that in this particular month, and celebration all the way. And in Tunga Mall, these places, how I wish we would go to Chisoro, and all these places covered, Erukunjiri, where I come from. Evander, this is home, and we're not giving you any less. It's going to be feeling good all the way. With me in studio is Bwenje Deus Didit, Godin Nsimire, Spencer Mahanjire, Peter Mpaka, and Musat Kwatanese. The number to call on is 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. We are 912 Cruise FM on X and 91.2 Cruise FM on Facebook. Now, go to YouTube and type in Cruise TV, and right there, it's seamless like that. You will not miss anything. Rather, you will see the red that Mpaka is wearing, the blue that Mohanjide is wearing, the white that Council is wearing, and everything that is happening here. And my good friend the Musama is also very happy here, and it's always an honor to have you. Musa Tukwatanis and everyone. Let me go back to Peter Mpaka. We know certainly there's been a cry of a level playing field for all political parties. We've seen situations where your president has booked radio airtime and the RDCs or some security apparatus does not allow him to go and spread the message. We've seen altercations with the police and the military. We've seen where you've booked spaces and the owners have had to refund the money. We've seen all this that has happened. We also know certainly that in the 2021 election you lost some of your people and all this that has happened to you. But we know certainly in 1981, after the 1980 December elections, where General Museveni was a part as a candidate of the UPM, he clearly told the Ugandan people, especially the runners of the state, that if at all a free and fair election is not delivered, I'll certainly be picking up arms and going to fight against this impunity. And you've been, crying about the way the state has managed the state of affairs in the opposition and has not allowed you to mobilize and all that. When General Museveni disagreed with how the status quo was in 1980, he picked up arms, and February 6th, we know what happened. Luweero Triangle, 500,000 people lost their lives, and he's been in government running the state for about 39, 38 years. Why are you crying babies? Why are you blaming the government for not giving you an opportunity to remove it from running the state? How is that possible? How are you prepared to maneuver against the very entrenched system of the incumbent government?
We must be nationalists. We must be patriots of our country and love Uganda and do everything within the law and within the space that allows. But does not mean that we don't have plan B, WSG. We have plan B, we also have plan C, we also have plan Z. And it's not the purpose of this show to expose what those plans are. But the space that we have now, the little space as it is, unleveled as it is, unfair as it is, allows us to do a few things. For example, after here, the NUP in Imbarara, we are going to do a Burunji Bwansi somewhere here in town. And that's part of our mobilization, strategies. We have been registering party members. Our president has been doing counter tours. They have been failed. They have been hampered with. But for us, in Sorukuchizugo Kweri, we will not cry like the other woman whom we saw in one of the media houses saying, Kati omuntu agoingewa. When the going gets tough, it's the tough who get going. So, enkoba twesibye satu, abamu twesibye 10, to see that we deliver the hope to Ugandans. We deliver the change to Ugandans. And okay, you ask.
My question is, in 2021 general elections, President Kyagulanyi, the president of NUP, complained that the election was not fair, and even he went to court. But during the court proceedings, he withdrew the case. Now, how is he sure that in the 2026 elections, the election will be fair? Where does he and his party get the guts now to participate in the 2026 election? Isn't it just confusing Ugandans?
But you see, your own president, the one you support, President Yoweri Museveni, said that the NUP has caliber, has stamina. They stole 2 million votes, 1 million votes from me. So I want to tell Ugandans that NUP, we are intellectuals. That's another plan we have. We will also steal the votes. So now, because even the president himself has accepted that we have power, so we have potential, we are a credible party.
Is NUP trying to
can even
to
steal
communicate?
Votes. Okay. So what I want to say is, in answering your question, that with all disparities that are on table that we see, we continue to pray, we continue to give hope. We cannot say we will not participate in an election. Why? Because it's a platform to educate Ugandans. It's a, you see, Besigye made a famous statement, and I love it. He said, you cannot say nti nze siri mu byabufuzi. Bw'ogamba nti siri mu byabufuzi, kitegeeza nti oli musiru. So I want to tell Ugandans who are there and you're saying, me, I cannot join politics. Me, they will break my back. Me, they will... No. Sibizimbe buzimbe. Uganda yafe. Tujirwanirira tujirwanirira.
Allow me to pose a question. Do you believe that the 2026 election is going to be free and fair? Just yes or no? You just say no. It's just yes or no.
You see, I am not in dock.
No.
So this is not a courtroom.
No.
For you to start.
You address me.
You
see,
with
you are
yes
saying
he's
no saying that
because
that
you see what he wants.
Tough.
He wants.
But is he actually tough enough?
You see, it's as if we are in a courtroom. So he wants me to say
it's just
no.
a simple
Then why are you going
question.
to participate? Because his next question is going
No,
to be,
don't
why are you then going to participate?
Don't speculate.
No, I am not
Don't
answering
speculate.
that.
Okay,
Just know that we are
okay. Let me get to Nsimire before I come to you, Musa. And we know certainly they've been among the challenges in the different election cycles that we've had. You talked about the commercialization of the electoral process, but certainly I think the biggest challenge that we have is people actually don't know the expectations they should have of their leaders. Do you think the category of Ugandans that we have having to cast their votes exactly know the interests of this country? And has the NRM been honest enough to say the real important aspects about our society that these voters must base on to elect these leaders? Because we've seen time and again members of our society have been elected into parliament and the local government offices, and they literally are clueless about what the expectations should be, but rather for as long as they are wearing yellow and they're endorsing President Museveni, and they are given an opportunity. For example, Parliament is up in arms about the coffee bill, and they don't know how to even articulate some of these issues. What must a voter know?
Thank you very much, Mr. Banyaji. That is a very brilliant question, and I will come to it with an example. In these very last elections that I happened to watch in another country, they were considering integrity. They were looking at how has Banyaji been at his place of work. Has Banyaji been right away from his education background, that far back? How has he been?
But they also considering of what is his opinion in as far as migration is concerned. LGBTQ ETC is position is concerned. They are also considering the color of their skins.
No. This is let me get to it.
Which election is that? Which county in the UK are you trying to refer to?
It has been England.
But
they've just gotten their election.
But that's
very rare.
Yes.
And I'm coming to that. There was a man who he's an Indian born. Now that is where we get to. You were saying about skin and color. This is an Indian. This Indian has been there for 20 years. But this Indian just says hi to people whenever he's walking. Hello, how are you? How have you been? Just goes to, he's a social man. He has been social around. He helps the elderly. Whenever there is something in the village that has happened, maybe there has been either a fight or someone has taken a lot of alcohol in winter. Sometimes people do drink a lot of alcohol and they fail to move back home, and when it's in winter you stay outside, and that all coldness can easily kill you. He carried 2 people, rescued them from the coldness. That man came to stand. He was given votes. He was versing a British. He was given votes following his integrity, his social, his education, the way how, like, they looked at that and he has been a leader of a local LOC1 in their country in India. They went deep down to find how he has been always.
What's the case here?
Here, Banyaji is coming. Let's look at who is Banyaji. Let's look at what he's carrying for us. Let's look at, is he capable? The capacity. What is he? What content, what quality is in him? Before we get back, we put him in power. That is what we should be looking at. The manifesto. The person who is having a written manifesto, can he defend the manifesto that is written? Because you can have a very brilliant manifesto written by my brother Bwenje here, and you cannot defend it. You cannot see it go through.
If you are going to make a choice whether to vote NRM or the NUP,
You must compare.
you must know what the NUP has or does not have.
Unfortunately, here in Imbarara,
Yes.
Unfortunately, here in Imbarara,
Yes.
Imbarara, my brother Peter Mpaka, when he was standing in for mayorship of Imbarara, he did not avail me with his manifesto.
No. Sure.
No.
You see,
You asked me a
he's
question
there
that
to implement the manifesto of NUP.
you asked me a question that you
Yes.
need me to tell you.
Yes.
He did not avail me his manifesto.
Did you ask
He
for
should
it?
be with a manifesto, not NLM, not NUP manifesto.
Okay.
Mr. If he tabled to me his manifesto and told me what he's going to do for
But
Mbarara City,
I
I would have voted him.
I doubt even Kachebezi
read-
tabled his manifesto for you.
If you
Did he?
I did not vote him as well.
Okay, so
Okay.
if
Yes.
you read the manifesto of NUP,
I voted for
Okay.
one who had a
They must-
manifesto
yes,
that
they
was
must you.
shooting in me.
let me ask
Okay.
you,
Yes.
if you read the manifesto of the NUP, would you vote for the NUP?
If the manifesto was really good and the one who is having it is going to put it in place, it doesn't fail me to vote an NUP person. When he has integrity, he has capacity to take what I'm saying should be
Okay.
should
Thank
be
you.
put ahead.
Thank you. There's a question I want to put to you, Musa. Over the years, I think we've been around for quite some time, and we've seen the evolution of the politics of our country from way back in 1996, when we had literally the first election after the promulgation of the Constitution. And things have changed. We saw how very heated the 2001, 2006 elections were, especially with the induction of the multi-party dispensation. We've seen a move of people getting out of civil service to come and stand into elective positions. We've seen doctors leave hospitals to come into political positions. We've seen engineers, lawyers, people abandon careers that have been very conventional that we know. We've seen an attraction of especially the humanities in the arts, now DJs, artists, name it, have all converged in the politics. Who has made this politics very attractive, that it doesn't create any profitability for any other career outside the politics? Every person is in a stampede to get to parliament or to become a councillor or to hold any kind of political office. How did we get here, and what was the stimulus? Let's stop for a breather. When we come back, Musa Tukwata will be able to give us a feel of that. But later on, I'll be giving in a hamper. A hamper will be coming through courtesy of Perpetual Paints. You win yourself a 4-liter budget emission paint and a hamper from Ibanda Kitchenware. So wait on that. When we come back straight up, you'll be able to win yourself that kind of double arrangement there. On your radio, don't touch your dial. Be right back. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
We are back from that break. It's 25 minutes past 10 o'clock. We are Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music. Good friends, we're celebrating 13 years of being the giants, the lions, the elephants of the radio game in Western Uganda. And we pledge that this is not about to stop. The big seat will be happening all the time, 9 a.m. to 11, and quality like this. Now you'll be able to watch it even when we are out of here on Cruise TV, YouTube. Just go right there. And TikTok, for those the new Gen Zs, I know TikTok is a thing for you. You will be able to enjoy that too, very easy like that. Now November Love is in there, and I feel like giving out something beautiful. Now you have Perpetual Paints is giving out a 4-liter budget emission paint right now, and a hamper from Ibanda Kitchenware. Ibanda Kitchenware, thank you for always being a part of this celebration. Every November, you never stop, and it feels good. Now, it's not late for you to partner with us to give back to the listeners. Reach out on us on Plot 12, Moti Lane, just right off Ontari School. Mbara City, you could be in Kampala, and we're only waiting to get to give away things like cars, motorcycles, televisions, and name it. Everything that you have, phones, whatever, we receive it. Nothing is small. We are receiving as little, as small as what? An earring, anything. It's your turn now to get to win on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. November Love.
Hello.
November Love.
November Love to you.
What's your name?
My name is Agawa Wycliffe, calling out from Uganda.
Agava Wycliffe.
Mm.
All right, you're in Ibanda.
I'm in Uganda.
We are
on the division.
We are coming to Ibanda, and we shall be bringing the celebration on there. Now, it's a quick one. Would you think, or not even think, who hosts a show on Sunday after, a show between midday to 2?
A show between midday and Enyanji.
Who is the host of that show?
John Tulnawe.
Which show happens before Enyanji?
Sunday Love.
Who hosts Sunday Love?
Claire Inya.
Congratulations, Agaba Wycliffe. You win yourself 4-liter budget emission paint, courtesy of Perpetual Paints, and a hamper from Kitchen High, Ibanda Kitchenware. Give me your telephone number.
My number is 07888
07888
50
50
then 790.
790.
07888 50 790.
I have you. Congratulations, Agava Wycliffe, right there. November Love.
November Love, all the closers. Thank you.
All right, beautiful like that. And we have a new arrangement where you get to win double. Not only for you, but for your girlfriend, for your boyfriend, for your mother, your father, your granny, your landlord, and everyone. It's everyone to enjoy this season. Musa Tukwatanase is with me in studio. Peter Mpaka, Muhanjire Spencer, Godwin Nsimire, and Kanso Bwenje Deusdede. The conversation we are having this morning is on political parties. How prepared are they ahead of the 2026 general elections? And a lot that is happening within and without these political parties. We shall be witnessing a lot of exodus, different members of different political parties switching affiliation. And the I think the law, the Parliamentary Elections Act, all about that, allows for these changes to happen within the last year of a term of office of different political parties within Parliament. And we only hoping to see this switch happening and how it affects the different political parties. Musa, I placed the question to you before the break, and let the listener know.
First of all, I want to note that in 1986, when Mzee Museveni came out of the bush with his colleagues, they first of all, that's when the NRM started from the NRA. And NRM started on the 4 major revolutionary principles, which the first principle was patriotism, the second was Pan-Africanism, the third was democracy, and the last one was socio-economic transformation. Now, when you look at the third principle of democracy, one of the agenda was to ensure, because you remember in 1980, one of the things that pushed Mzee to go to the bush was having an fair election, and even people not participating freely in elections. So when he got out of the bush, one of the things he had to install was to make sure Ugandans can now freely participate in elections. And now when you pose a question to me as to why people are running to participate in elections, it is a clear indicator that NRM has clearly scored principle number 3 of democracy that is enshrined in the 4 revolutionary principles of NRM, because people freely participate in an election. That's why even I was asking Peter here of NUP that you said that in 2021 you were rigged. Are you ready to participate in 2026? And he's clearly saying yes, we are going to participate.
The election was not rigged against Museveni because he wasn't even number 2. So he had his own. Actually,
No, he wasn't even a presidential candidate.
so
you see,
he
those
had
are
a
lies.
predetermined.
Don't expose the ignorance.
What you're
Now,
disputing, give me a second.
Let's
What-
allow
what
him put
you're
out what he
disputing,
thinks.
I want to put it clear on record that not only was President Museveni number 2, like when you say, he was not even a presidential candidate. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in 1980 was contesting for MP in Mbarara North constituency together with Sam Kutesa, and he was a UPM flag bearer, like I am a new flag bearer. He was not even a presidential candidate.
And so
Should be on record. People
I am discussing matters of national importance, not Rugamba. Now, when you look at the democratic principle of the revolution, first of all, you will appreciate that Ugandans have appreciated that the NRM government has installed democracy, and every person, whether in PPF, whether in NUP,
You say it clear, PFF.
PFF,
Yes.
whether in NUP, whether in ANT, people feel free to come and contest because they know you will contest, either win or lose. And in an election, whether it is within the party, because you have already seen it, whether in NUP or NRM, when you contest and they defeat you, you will not fail to have a reason why you have been defeated. You are either defeated, either the election has been rigged to your side or against you, or maybe you lacked funds, but people will always have excuses. But what we appreciate is that NRM has installed the democracy for all of us to participate. Now, what is the input of the activists like us? What should we advocate for now? Is that the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda should now put in laws that will regulate the financing of the election, because the election has become too commercialized. And also I condemn it as an NRM cadre. We need now to have laws.
Candidates.
That's
Yes.
why I said that I am discussing matters of national importance, not Rugambo. Because this one is bringing Rugambo. One of the reasons that took Mzee Museveni in the bush, because he put it clear that I am standing in this election. But if this election is not fair, I am going to...
What have
Because he
you
lost
said?
miserably. He was the Katumba way of today.
Actually, no.
Because he
no.
lost miserably.
That is not
No,
true.
It
it
is
was
true.
actually
He lost miserably.
the Patrick boy of today, because he wasn't even number 2.
No, but you could take that. But,
But I want
when you say no, wait, can I have silence
No.
right now? Can I have silence? When you say in 1980 President Museveni was negligible and literally have no significance in that election is based on a pure lie, it's like saying our late candidate Benon Veraro was insignificant in that election. This was a military soldier. This man was the vice chairperson of the military council. And this man was the state minister of defense. So you cannot downplay such influence into an election. Let me have...
I want to, you see, you're pinpointing on something, and I have the clear fact. President Museveni in 1980 was like Asuman Basarirwa. He was a president of a political party, Uganda Patriotic Movement, but he was a contestant on an MP seat. Not that he was the president, because some contestant who was contesting with, was he contesting as a presidential candidate? He was here in Iba. You have seen pictures in Twenda, Museveni, Ahabwa, Mbarara North. So
that was a by-election about...
It was an Asuman Baswali.
I think
But
this man is confusing the two.
no,
In 1980, there were two elections.
she's a bit right.
Yes.
There was a
No,
by-election.
she's a bit right. Because you see, under the 1967, under
After the
the
election, they went to the war. There
Ah,
was
you
no
see,
by-election.
Yes.
under the 1967 constitution, it was a parliamentary system. The party which elected, so okay, so the majority
More than
party
MPs.
got to elect the president of the day. Okay, so it was not a presidential system now as it is now. The party which had the most MPs had the chance and the right to elect the president of the Republic of Uganda.
Okay. Conclude.
Yes.
So in conclusion,
No,
no,
not by
Can I have Musa? No. Your microphone is mute.
in conclusion, I want to appeal to all Ugandans, because there is one philosopher who made a statement that those who are too smart to participate in politics are led by those who are dumb. So people coming out to participate in an election is a clear indicator that Uganda, one, is a democratic state, two, that the people trust the systems of the country, three, that people freely enjoy their rights as Ugandans. And so I call upon all Ugandans now to engage our MPs to propose a bill that regulate the financing of an election, such that we can have an election that is not monetary, that is not more commercialized, and then from there, people participating in an election, that one is very fine, because it brings even a clear image even on the international scene that Uganda is a democratic state with a functioning system that is trusted by the people of the country.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me get to spend. Yes.
question of the day is, are political parties in Uganda ready for 2026? And the smooth answer and actually the straight away answer is, it is only the NRM which is ready. The other parties are not.
Why is it?
Because
Okay.
you see,
No, allow him.
in my opinion, being ready for an election, it does not mean going to register and be voted for. No, you must be ready to wrestle power from the government of the day. As of now, the incumbent, which is the NRM, I think it is more ready than all the others. The NUP, the NUP has no, it has no alternative agenda. We are not sure what it will do if the election is rigged. So it means it is yeah. Exactly.
Right.
So we are not, and of course the DP is too confused.
Let's have order
The-
and
yes.
allow Bwenje submit.
The Democrat Party itself is too confused. You cannot have your president being a minister in the government of the day. The UPC is also too weak. Then the FDC is also too weak. So I don't see where you cannot wait for something which hasn't yet come.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's stop for a break. When we come back, I'll go to the lifeline of the show. Those are the telephone calls. The November Love is out in there, and you've gotten 2 winners for the hours that we've been here. We're coming back and keep that conversation going on our social media handles. Facebook, Instagram, X, Cruise TV on YouTube. It's all there, and I'll be reading some of the messages. Keep it locked.
It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends. 91.2.
Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
All right, 15 minutes to the top of the hour on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. My name is Wesigye Banyaji. We on the final lap of the show, but we still have time for the lifeline. Those are the MVPs that keep this conversation very spiced up. The callers on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Now, there's so many ways you can be a part of the conversation. Cruise TV, where you can send out a message. And I can see the Secret, November Love, and all the way from Rwentonjo in Nyarubungo. All right. Jordan, you're in Muyenga Kakoba. Thank you so much for those that are watching. Nwajira David, you're saying President Museveni's NRM will top the 2026 elections because almost all political parties are divided and confused. And they're ideologically bankrupt. Omungari Kazo Live. Thank you, Daudi. Kargaba Bright and Corey Boy, you're saying you're watching all the way from Nyariyanj, Ngariye, Ruhinde, Spencer. Oh, I see you. We love you. I love you right back. I have Ninsima Imelda, you're watching. Juliet Katabarka, who is saying she's watching all the way from Bushenyi. All right, and you're working in Denmark. Keep making that money and bring it back home. Mugabe Edson, you're watching all the way from Rugongo in Karungu in Buheju. November Love. And Rubindi Vocational. November Love to all the listeners that are catching the show. Definitely, this is all about you right now. And on X, we put a question on what you think about the preparedness of the different political parties ahead of the 2026 general elections. And KENB is saying, good morning, Cruise FM. How far with the coffee bill? Well, President Museveni was speaking hot. And we saw a dossier by my very good professor and land friend, economist Ezra Suruma. He penned the reasons why they formed the UCDA. And it seems to counteract the opinion of the president. And we're not about to stop watching that. Nwajira David, you're saying NRM is the only prepared political party ahead of the 2026 elections. FDC no are in great confusion. Ugandans should watch the space and discard opposition political parties. I see you, Kavagambe, Valentino. You're listening and watching all the way from Uganda. Tumsime Andrew, you're saying for the case of opposition political parties, all of them, they are urban-based and they don't have structures on the ground, especially in the villages. Parties are not prepared enough as the elections are now determined by the force of money and security agencies. Tumsime Andrew, I appreciate you. You got Mbara's finest. You're saying thank you to the show. Buyanga Derek, you're saying the days to come are problematic. You're listening in all the way from Isinjiro, the usual guy. You're listening in. Mr. Banyenzaki Abe, you're saying thank you for the show. You're listening in from Kagaju, Bushenyi Shaka Municipality. We shall be there for November Love. That's assured, and it will be fun, packed there. On Facebook, the messages are there. My dad, Simon Peter, you're saying some parties are preparing sticks for fighting. You're listening in from Carrera Technical Institute. Greetings to Mwebese Rogers and all the other people there in Bugamba Secondary School. Ardent contributor of the Big Seat, Matthias Major, November Love, sir. You're saying about preparedness, it's unfortunate that it's multi-party dispensation. We have over 12 political parties, and the only sounding and vibrant political parties are NRM, NUP, FDC, and maybe PLU that is coming up, and the rest are silent. But still, we want to be a part of the 2026 elections. I think such sleeping parties want to mobilize just a few must the elections. I think we in the NRM leaning just coming to confuse Ugandans, and it's unfortunate the science behind it, that blind minds Ugandans and when actually makes sense. Mwebesa Rogers, you're listening in, and November Love, this is Mwebesa. Okay, you're in Katete, and you're saying I think some parties are just having no confidence. Thank you. Steve Biargava, I see you. Benson Gumesiriza, I see you. And there's so many. Let me pick 1, 2, 3 calls and I come back for the parting shots. The Big Seat. Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you at?
Yes, good morning, West Givanyaji.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, you are speaking to Ansio Mweneka Weed, calling in from Montala Chitakwenda, November Love.
November Love.
Straight to the point.
Okay.
I want to inform you, West Givanyaji, these political parties are also contributing to the sign of democracy in Uganda.
Okay. To the point there. The Big Seat.
Hello, Banyanji, Madilu Hima.
Madilu Hima, November Love, Madilu.
November Love too. Nimekupata kabisa, lakini jamu ni mingi.
Jamu ni kali, iko kali jamu hiyo.
Sasa, sijawapata vizuri kabisa tangu mwanzo. Nilikuwa busy, nilikuwa nataka tu ujue niko online. Asante sana Madilu, tunakupenda sana sana. Hapa Cruise FM. Madam Eva alienda wapi? Madam Sifa Kampala. Lakini anarudi. anarudi
anarudi saa zote naweza kubajia
vanange kirungi nnyo ekyo kirungi.
Asante sana Madilu. November love.
November love too.
All right, let me get your parting shots as we get out of here. But Spencer, there is a message that you want to put across.
Yes, first of all, NRM is panicking. That's why they are rounding up opposition supporters. Yesterday, but one, we were at International War Crimes Division Court at Wandegea. We managed to have our 36 people, supporters of PFF. They were kidnapped from Kenya and they were arraigned before courts. We spent like 3 months now. They have been at Nakawa Magistrates Court, and then they were taken to the High Court. We applied for bail. They applied for bail, and we were lucky that Uganda still has some people of integrity and substance in a judicial system. We have people who are replacing the old ones, like we used to have Justice Ogora, George Wilson Kanyihamba. So Madam Susan Okalani, who had taken over the case and who granted them bail, is a good lady of substance, and I think there was some lenience, because NRM is always having bad moves of suffocating, oppressing, of demoralizing supporters of the opposition. I think Peter Mpaka can testify what happened to their supporters, forcing people to plead guilty of the offenses they have not committed just because the NRM uses state apparatus and whatnot. So I would like to say that time is coming. You are winding up, you NRM people, and I think we shall